Hello, Catherine Hood here, or some of you know me as Coach Catherine. I love helping people that are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetics, struggling with their diabetes, struggling with their blood sugar, dealing with so many changes. I love making it more simple, breaking it down, helping you, holding you accountable, coming alongside you. So I am very passionate about type 2 diabetes. So if you know anyone that's pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, send them my way. I would love to help and support them. But I do want to take note here and say that the topic today is everyone's diabetes is different. I'm a part of so many forums and groups and all different things. Some of them I run, some of them I don't. But I see so many comments and thoughts that are surrounding a one size fits all thought process, and that's not the way it is. You can't exactly spot a type 2 diabetic. Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely signs, features that are indicative of it, but not always. Everybody's diabetes is different. Same with the whole idea or concept of what should I eat or what workout should I do or what should I this or that. It's different for all of us. There's no one size fits all when it comes to diabetes. Meal planning, programming, lifestyle, way of being, way of behaving, way of acting is just not possible. Everything, so even if you find something that works for one person, it may be totally different for you, okay? And that one person might put out on social media that this works for me, but in 3 to 6 months or a year, it could look completely different, okay? So that's why knowing your own unique body, how it responds to all the things, right? The food, temperature of your environment, whether that be the weather or your house, your stress, whether you manage it well or not, whether you stay hydrated consistently, whether you sleep consistently, your hormones, gender, movement or lack of movement, your hormones. I already said hormones. But all of these are so super important and can manage and affect how your diabetes is managed. So understanding is powerful. Understanding your own unique body, not working off of Google, right? Because it doesn't know you. It doesn't know your body fat percentage, how much muscle mass you have, your age, your gender, how advanced your diabetes is, right? Your visceral fat, the fat that's underneath your rib cage surrounding your organs. That's the most important vital part because that is where your insulin resistance lies. Your gender, your age, your status of your pancreas, your liver, your kidneys. Do you have an infection? Are you taking other medications? All of these factors impact how your blood sugars rise and fall. So, if you're pre-diabetic or full diabetes, some of you may be able to eat up to 60 to 70 grams of carbohydrates in a meal, right? Some of you are only able to eat roughly 100 carbohydrates a day, right? To spread out throughout all your meals. So that is one of many reasons why everybody's diabetes is different, right? Even in my own communities, there's foods that are posted and then people post other questions or comments or message me privately. It's like, is that okay for me to eat? The answer is always going to be, you've got to test it with your own meter. You've got to understand how your unique body responds to that food. We are all different. For some of us, eating sweet foods or pasta or potatoes in moderation is a-okay, right? Some of you can do that. Some of you can have beans. Some of you can't. But we also have other sensitivities and allergies and all other food issues that not only just are about diabetes, it could be about other things. But others can't even look at sugar or cake or cookies without their blood sugar going up, right? So there's so many different variations, varieties, and one day might be different than the next. Our diabetes is super complex. If you follow me in one of my groups, I did post something very close to my heart. I had an incident yesterday, and thank you so much for the heartfelt, love and support based on my drop in blood sugar. It was very, very, very scary yesterday. I dealt with it, managed to get through it, but it was just a really big eye opener. And it really, somebody had made a point. It was like, it really makes you realize how fragile we are. And we're very fragile. And in that moment, I realized it really quickly. So it is scary. So I'm not just talking about highs, I'm talking about lows as well. And that's something I've always had a struggle with is the sudden, rapid swings. So I experienced that yesterday. Kind of has me on alert. I know what I did wrong, and that's the biggest thing. And when you have any kind of swings or adjustments or changes, is to reflect on it. Like what led up to that event? I know. Like I reflected on it for an hour, actually more than an hour. I shared it with my family. I didn't hide it. It's not a secret. I wanted it to be open and out in the open, but I was like, I went way too long. I went way too hard. I toughed it out and just kind of time just got away from me. I'm really, really conscious about eating really strategically. And I missed a meal basically. So I got way too low. But one of the things that you should never say to a diabetic. So if you're a family member, you know someone that has diabetes or pre-diabetic, this message is for you. And for those of you that are new to diabetes, you're going to have all kinds of things said to you that are just going to make you cringe. But this is one thing you should not say. You should never say, should you really be eating that? That is the worst thing to say to someone that has diabetes or pre-diabetic. The worst, especially in the very beginning. That would bring me to tears. That would crush me. I deal with my own guilt and challenges. It's like, I don't need yours on top of it. And a lot of times we know what we're doing, especially if we've had it for a long time. We know what we're doing. We're managing it, possibly with medications, but we're managing it. We know what we're doing. But that's the worst possible thing to say. Look at us as normal people and don't say a word about it. We know how to manage our own diets and our own bodies. All right, so a word of caution is to be careful what you read, what you hear, Dr. Google, what you search on Google, or see on social media boards. And also about hacks. I see a lot of hacks out there that are always trying to hack recipes and always trying to be super creative with ingredients. But bottom line is, especially if you're in a weight loss journey, you're trying to lose body fat, a lot of times those hacks are just filled with high calorie foods, trying to smother it and make it amazing and delicious. And yeah, I get it. When you really hone in your diet, it's not nearly as much fun, and can get kind of boring and monotonous. But, be aware that not all hacks are really good for you. Just make sure you test your own blood sugars. So tasty ingredients added might be okay for them, but might not be okay for you. And same with portions. Be very cognizant of your portions. So changes in your body, if caught early enough, right? So perhaps let's say, another thing that would change your what you can and cannot eat would be a shift in your body fat percentage, right? So when I work with a lot of my clients really closely that are pre-diabetic or diabetic, type 2 diabetic, we aim to lose 7% body fat. That's like the first initial hump. Usually there's a big shift as long as everything else is dialed in, which again is a long laundry list, but we start with one small thing at a time. But the 7% body fat oftentimes will change your body on what you can and cannot eat, right? So that's a huge shift. So I put that note on there. I wanted to make sure of that. But it can typically, not always, improve the amount of carbohydrates you can have in a meal or in a day. Again, pairing it with protein is ideal. I also wanted to drop some tips. Some of these you've probably heard of. I might sound like a broken record, but I thought that I would drop these along with my everyone's diabetes is different message that I wanted to send you today. But I wanted to repeat these because some of these might be new to you, and I wanted to kind of add my 2 cents to them. But eat to your meter. So when I keep talking about test your own unique body, test and see what foods work with your body, First and foremost, I highly recommend getting a continuous glucose meter. Invest in one. I say invest in one because I think they're very expensive, but I find that they're like the best thing on the market. They didn't have them or wasn't available for me when I was deeply struggling with this, but get a continuous glucose meter. If you can't, get a meter, get tons of strips. If your insurance can't pay for it, find the money, get the money, but learn how your body responds to all those foods that you typically eat. So, eat to your meter means test your blood sugar, right, before your first bite. And at that first bite, set your alarm for 1 hour. And at 1 hour, test your blood sugar again. Okay. So, what you're looking for is to where your blood sugar is not swinging more than 20 points. That's what you're looking for. If it swings more than 20 points, you've got to make an adjustment in that meal, right? So you need to look and figure out how many carbohydrates are in there, and how you mellow that out is either cut back the portions and add protein, or it might be that you need to eliminate something that is in that meal. Oftentimes when starting out, when learning how your body responds, it's best to limit yourself to 2 or 3 different foods per meal, so that way you can identify what is or is not swinging your blood sugar levels. I hope that helps. I also have a lot of places on my groups and communities. I have a quick little slide that covers how to do that, eat to your meter, all in one slide. And I have heard from many of you how helpful that is. But if you need me to help explain it in a different way, I'm happy to do so. But developing a healthy eating plan, and what that amounts to is eating small meals consistently, spread out evenly throughout the day, small meals, right? Learning how to get all those meals in, not fasting, long lengths of time. But create space and time for fun activities. Who does that? Everybody should. Everybody should do something fun, lowering your stress every day, every single day, okay? Test your blood sugar and keep a record of your results. Again, keeping a journal, bring that into your doctor. Look and reflect on the highs and the lows, what you can do to adjust that, change that, monitor it. What is happening? Sometimes it's not the food. Sometimes it's the stress. Sometimes it's who you're eating with, or who you're eating around, or the environment you're eating. Or are you eating too fast? Like, there can be so many different variables there. You've got to really reflect on the whole picture. All right, so recognize the signs for your highs and your lows, right? They feel the same to me. Oftentimes, I see slides all over the place on Pinterest and all different places where, and I don't think I've posted any in my groups, because to me, it's different again for everyone. Some people can't feel the highs and the lows. I can feel them usually coming on. Like, yesterday was really random. It happened really, really quick. But I usually can feel the highs and the lows coming on. I can catch them before they get too out of control. But recognizing those highs and the lows, what they feel like, what the sensation is, feels like, looks like, smells like, there's so much going on. You've got to be able to recognize those and know how to avert them, how to change them. Having food and water with you always. I have them hidden everywhere. It's kind of hard in the summertime, but I always have food, water in my bags, my purses, my car, everywhere I go. I have plenty, or I have an emergency plan, always. Often make sure you have your insulin if that's what you're on. I've been insulin dependent, if you're not aware. I'm not now, been free of it for many years, thank goodness. But having plenty of supplies with you, your pens, your pumps, your tabs, everything with you. But ask your doctor what to do with the highs and the lows. A lot of people are really hyper-focused on the A1C and trying to figure out a way to hack that. What? Don't hack that, right? It's not, just because you get your, it's a 3-month average. The last 30 days is the most important. But trying to hack that, what good is that doing? It's not doing you any good. You're not learning your body. You want to learn how to just change your lifestyle, and the number will naturally come down. And oftentimes, it doesn't come down as fast as you'd like it to. And I get that. That's frustrating. Same with like the number on the scale, but just the slower, the continuous, the better, because your body can only handle small changes at a time. All right, so back to my list. Monitor your feet, your skin. Like if you're getting really flaky, dry, thin skin, like it's paper thin, you're getting any infections, any cuts, make sure to take care of these things. And also watch your eyes. Any changes in your eyesight, immediately make an eye appointment. Monitoring your feet and your skin is also really important to protect against infections or any skin lesions or issues like that, because any infections actually shoot your blood sugars up as well. So if you have a urinary tract infection or even an ingrown toenail on any antibiotics, your blood sugars are going to go all over the place. Just to warn you, and that's very natural. Just take care of these things before they get too far out of control. And address your infections right away is my next one. Buy diabetes supplies and store them properly, but also dispose of them properly. Most Walgreens will take your syringes, your sharps box, and just destroy those properly. Don't dump them in the trash or anything like that. Make sure you dispose of them properly. There's also a link in all my communities that I recently put in there. But manage your stress. I think I talked about that earlier, but I put it on there twice. There must be a reason. But daily create space and time to do the things that you love and you enjoy. Make sure you laugh. Make sure you dance. Make sure you sing. And make sure you have sex really often. This really, really helps your blood sugar levels. All right, get your rest. Be horizontal 8 hours a day, every single damn day. Go to bed at the same time. Get up at the same damn time every damn day. Your sleep is so vital when you're a pre-diabetic and a diabetic. You must get your sleep. Just do it. The only excuse that you can have is if you have to catch a flight. That's it. Okay. Hydration is extremely important. I've had clients that did everything perfectly, perfect, but they hated water. Guess what their blood sugars did? They go up, okay? So please drink your water. Stay hydrated. My goal is always a gallon a day, spread out throughout the entire day, no more than 30 ounces in an hour, because again, that's bad for your kidneys, and we got to take really good care of our kidneys, because if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, they are at risk. But make sure that you are staying hydrated. Make sure it's filtered, high quality water. If you're getting tap water, get your water tested. You can do that online. You can find out what the results are and get a high quality filtration system. If you're drinking bottled water, be very careful that it's BPA free. Know that no matter what, it's still in your lid, so don't let those bottles get hot or too cold. All right, so that's it for my list. Hi, David, if you're still on. Thank you for saying hi. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you know someone that's diabetic, pre-diabetic, we're all unique. We're all different. Treat us with kindness, like we're all normal human beings. We're just like you, with a little bit of blood sugar issue. And we just want your love and support to help us feel wanted, loved, and cared about. All right, if I can be of any help or service to you, please comment below or message me directly. I would love to hear from you. All right, thank you as always. Thank you, David. All right, have a good day. Bye.